Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Ango Video, and today is going to be the 15th video in this series. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple sidebar. I'm not going to add any styling in this sidebar because this is not the purpose of this lesson. The purpose of this lesson is basically to show you guys how to make a simple sidebar in PHP and basic WordPress codecs functions and all that. Alright, so let me just show you the sidebar itself. This is a simple sidebar. The content itself is just done over here as a widget, and basically inside it we could just add, let's add something else. Let's actually add another social icon just to show you. Let's add a dribble, for example. Just make it and go edu at dribble.com or whatever. Just update that. Alright, refresh that. Here it is. Alright, and actually this is a second menu I added. So just to show you guys that the sidebar itself works, so you could just add, images, whatever you want to do to these two widgets over here. Alright, so let me just show you what I did over here. Alright, very simple. Let me get to you the updated code. Alright, so if we go into our functions folder over here, I just made a sidebar.php, just registering the sidebar. You could just take this code and put it into your functions.php, but I'm just doing that for now to be more organized and show you guys how it's done. Alright, so we're just gonna go into that, and basically let me just put this code downside. Alright, we're gonna do a function of basically registering and go. Alright, register ring all sidebars, for example, because I did register and go sidebars down there. So, and then we're gonna register the sidebars. You could do also a register just sidebar, but for now we're doing register sidebars. Let me show you that and that. Alright, so register sidebar. Basically this only accepts an argument, so basically you could add an array over here and some strings, and in register sidebars you could add the number of sidebars you want and the arguments as well as an array. But for now we're going to be using register sidebars because that's what we use over here. And then this number over here is just an integer, that's why I added the 2 over here. So basically you have 2 sidebars. And as you could see over here, I do not have 2 arrays for the sidebars. I have just one array with the ID of Ango primary. This is very important. This is where we're gonna basically display that. So let's just add important ID, and the name itself is just gonna be Ango sidebar, and this is just gonna get the dynamic number of sidebars. So basically if we're gonna be Ango sidebar, that's gonna get the Ango sidebar 1 and sidebar 2 for registering the sidebars itself. And there's this syntax over here. This is just basic syntax to actually display the sidebar itself. And if we even go into sidebar WordPress codecs, I'm sorry this video is a little bit long, but I just wanted to show you guys everything that we could do. So basically there's just a register sidebars, and also this is how you show the sidebar. So if you go into the function reference, there's 2 ways just to do the sidebar, which is basically 2 steps, I'm sorry. Registering the sidebar and just showing the sidebar. So we already registered the sidebar. I'm not gonna do that all over again. I'm just gonna use the code already over here, but I just wanted to explain to you guys what you have in front of your eyes. Alright, so basically this is the register and go sidebars, and after that you are just, we do not have to repeat that. Like I said, we could just register the sidebars, In the add action over here, this is the final step. Basically, you're gonna do a widgets init and register the Ango sidebars function we already mentioned over here. Alright, so that's it for registering. We're all done with registering. Let's go into actually displaying that. So you might see over here that there's something called a sidebar slash Ango primary.php. Why am I doing that? Because basically, let me just go into the page or I go back. If you go into the WordPress codex and see customizing your sidebar, you're gonna see basically it explains how you could do the sidebar, some stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you one, yeah. So you could have a sidebar.php, like just a sidebar2.php, whatever you want to call it, and just include it in the included folder, and just include that sidebar wherever you want. That's the simplest way to do it. However, I'm just gonna show you how to actually register the sidebar in WordPress itself and just like be making a dynamic sidebar. That is basically what I'm trying to show you guys, right? So to display it, we're just gonna be getting the sidebar itself wherever we want to do. This is the default sidebars. We don't want that. We want the custom sidebars, which is going to be this one. And basically, the name of this page, for order for you to actually display the sidebar, where is it? The codex, I'm sorry. Yeah. You just gotta make the sidebar whatever name you already made it over here. The basically where we registered it. If you understand what I'm meaning, this is the ID that I said it's gonna be very important. So basically, you're just gonna do a sidebar and then a hyphen and go primary.php or whatever name you're gonna add, name it over here. Then in the side angle primary.php, you actually want to display all of this. All right, we do not need the divs and everything over here. I just wanted to show you guys how to make a simple sidebar with some JavaScript and some simple CSS3. There's no styling added, but I'm just showing you the basic steps for it. All right. So first off, you could just get the header. So you don't actually need to get the header. We could just do a WordPress head in order for you to get the styles that the page is already like rendering. Let me just refresh that, make sure. Yeah, close that. It works. So yeah. Uh, So first off, we need just two things to display. So basically, if there's an active sidebar, which is basically going to be Ango primary, please display this Ango primary sidebar, and in it, I just added the dynamic sidebar. And why I did that is basically I added this div so I could basically just see this ID over here. I basically just added some simple JavaScript code that you could find on actually W3 Schools and this code over here, which is basically just document that get element by ID, which is the ID I added over here, which is Ango P slider, which has just got the primary sidebar. So yeah, and the style of width of 100, that is the open sidebar. So I did two functions, JavaScript functions. Just open the sidebar with a style width of 100 and block it as a block, like display that as a block, and then close the sidebar, still using the document that get element by ID, but just making that style that display equal none. Alright, so that's the basic script. I just added two functions. Why? Because we just need two buttons to close and open. And in it, I just added in the open sidebar the menu icon over here. And in the close sidebar, I just made a button with close sidebar function that it's over here. Alright, and close and times. What this times means is just a X over here. And here it is, the sidebar itself. Let me also go into the WordPress codex itself. I'll show you something final. I just wanted to show you guys that is active sidebar. Just 1 second. All right, is active sidebar. So basically, this determines whether a sidebar contains widgets or not. All right, and the dynamic sidebar basically shows the dynamic sidebar. So let me just make sure of that. I don't want to say anything to you guys that is incorrect in this course. So dynamic sidebar. So yeah, as like I said, it just displays the dynamic sidebar. And again, there is an integer that you could add over here. It is just the name or the ID of a dynamic sidebar. You could just put the value over here, but the default value already is add one. Alright, so that has been it actually, guys, but let me just show you how to add the widgets themselves. You're just gonna go into appearance and then widgets. So I already added them before, so I'm not gonna add them all over again. Let me actually remove some stuff. I don't want these images. I don't want these images, and I do not want this navigation menu. Alright, let me just remove that from the widget. Alright, could also just add in some styling, or let's just align that to center. Could we align these to center as well? Alright, just 1 second. Align center. Can we align you center? Can make them into large. Alright, just adding some justify into center. Yeah, that works now. Alright, just update that just to make sure everything is working. Alright, and we already registered 2 sidebars. So yeah, it works. So if we close that and we open that, close that, open that, and it's already registered as a widget, and I used just some menus I registered over here. Alright, so if you guys have any questions, and I already added it also to the Angle button menu. Alright, I didn't want to make this video more longer than this, but I just wanted to cover all the concepts in the video. Check out video 16 when I'm going to be uh, explaining the search page, which is going to be search.php. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't want to make this video longer than this. If anything I explain you want to just ask anything in the comments, just let me know. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Comment, like, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. You guys have a beautiful day.